Hello there, YouTubers! This is Insane Ninja Bunny, aka Liz Dexic Eddie on the PlayStation Network, aka Edward J. Hyde, your favorite demon. A very long string of names, and I hope you don't mind. Today I'm bringing you a review for a Transformers figure, and I'm also showing you a second figure which isn't listed on the video description, but I'm going to show you that really quick. This is my Starscream camera holder for the time being. DOTM transforms it just right to be a phone cradle for this video, which I'm liking. So, moving right along onto the main bit of video for this. Soundwave, Prime. Oh, come on, zoom in right. There we go, perfect. This is Soundwave from Transformers Prime. Now, I have not seen Prime, and I've only seen a couple of the figures, and I got this as a gimmick. I love Soundwave. I've loved Soundwave since, God, I saw him ages ago, and I was like, this is awesome. So, I picked this figure up because this is the first figure I've seen since the little tiny, crappy $7 per figure from DOTM. And I'm actually kind of pissed off about that because they were going to make a DOTM figure, two of them actually. One Voyager class, one for the Human Alliance, and both of them never came out in America. Only in Japan. Damn it! So, this is Prime Soundwave. Now, I like this figure. I've heard things about the second edition figures like this one being a little bit more rubbery and doughy than the regular ones. But I'm actually fond of this a lot because it's Soundwave. Now, I love Soundwave, as I said before. I've been a fan of the Decepticons since God knows when. I've been a part of the Transformers fan base for years, and I've just taken a liking to him. He's a badass. He's my homeboy. I've got a Decepticon tattoo on my chest. It happens. This is not a bad figure at all. It feels like you could throw it against the wall, and it would survive very well. Unlike most figures you throw against the wall and they break into 100 pieces, you can't fix it. No! But this one, it feels like you could. I haven't tried that yet. Don't try that at home. Anyways, this figure is very well put together, and I'm going to show you the alt modes that I've seen of it, because there has been one fan-based alt mode of a pterodactyl, and one that I figured out I'm going to show you after the pterodactyl. Now, the pterodactyl is pretty easy to put together, very easy to transform. You pop the wing nubbins out of the leg stubs right there, on both sides. As you can see, fairly simple. There we go. Now, you've released the neck and head. This is the head bit over here. This part right here transforms into the lower jaw, which is a pretty neat little thing. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking when they did that, but that's a pretty nifty little design flaw that people have been able to exploit into this figure. That wheel pops back into the foot peg, which is not really a peg, but you know what I mean. And these parts right here, which are laser beak, fold down to become little proto-legs, which is the best way I can describe it, because I don't know how to describe that. Nothing else really happens with this, except the neck does bend down, like that at the waist, and like this, and like that as well. So you've got some really nice neck postability right there in the fan-based alt mode for the pterodactyl. The wing bits pop up like that, up and around, and the hand bits pop out like this to form the rest of the wing on both sides. Let me do that for you really quick so I can show you. This is Soundwave Pterodactyl in all of its glory. And this is a pretty neat little fan-based figure customization thing, because you don't really see very many beast modes anymore. And this is a pretty neat little idea that they've added into it. Pretty nice. Now let me transform it back into the spy drone bit, so I can show you how to transform it into the second alt mode I'm going to show you today, which is my own personal thing. I haven't seen it yet online, and I hope no one else does it. If you do happen to use this for anything, please leave me a comment and or post my name on your video description, because that helps me to figure out what's what. Now, from the spy drone, as you've seen it already, you're going to want to pop the leg bit, which is right up here. This entire piece becomes the legs. You want to pop these leg bits out and around, pop the arm bits out, And this is actually going to transform into the robot mode after I'm done with this mode. Oh, that was a text message. Yes, I'm using my Droid Bionic to do this. So if that happens again, don't mind it. It's probably going to make a huge headphone disturbance on you. This bit comes around to become the arms. And that's how it's actually transformed. These pop up into the chest cavity like so. And to get it into my alt mode, you're going to transform the arms down and around, like so, on both sides, and pop the arm bits out. Now, there's going to be no further transformation on the arms as of yet, but you're going to want to transform the head. And this is the cool thing that I found out about these figures, because they're called revealers. Now, you pull this part back to create the head. It just pops out like this. Da-na-na-na. Let me show you that again in case you didn't see that, because I'm pretty stupid with this camera, phone, thing, etc. Pops out like that after you have the back piece pulled down like that. You fold down the jet thruster like this, fold it back into the body. And now, I don't know if anyone else has seen this. If you have, please leave me a comment down below in my comment field, and I'll try to say something about this. But doesn't this look familiar to you? Hold on a second. Doesn't this look familiar at all to you? Because when I did this, it looked exactly like the satellite mode that they had for ROTF, which is pretty neat. They kind of, and now correct me if I'm wrong, the Prime series comes before the main movie series. I'm not entirely sure if that's canon or not, but I certainly believe it is. So if I'm not right, please leave me a comment down below as usual. Let me see if I can get a better camera angle for this thing. He doesn't stand on his own, so, you know, don't kill me for that. Yeah. Aha! So yes, this is satellite mode, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Now, transforming it into robot from satellite, you're going to separate the legs. And now, let me fold the arms up a little bit so I can show you the leg transformation a little bit better. You see this part right here. This part. Now, this wasn't included in the directions, but because these pieces are a little bit rubberier than usual, you're going to pop this around and in. You can do that because it's rubbery. Pop it around and in until it nestles into that little concave structure very nicely. And this whole structure, see that little nub right there, goes up and around like that to form the back of the leg. And this little piece is very nice. Let me pull this leg up so I can show you a little bit better. And look at that. That's really nice. This part right here folds back around to be the heel of the foot, and this part folds around to be the foot itself. That's a pretty nice transformation if you ask me. You do that with the other leg while you guys aren't paying attention to me, which you probably aren't. Fold this around. I'm doing no scene transitions because I don't know how to do that. I don't have video editing software. I just have a phone. Don't judge me. Now, moving back along with this whole leg piece right here, this is a pretty neat little idea that they've added into it because it's kind of like a bipedal leg. You've got that second joint right there. And do the same thing with the other leg. And that is the leg transformation completed. Now he stands on his own very nicely. I'm going to pull the figure back a little bit so I can reconfigure Starscream to hold him in an angle a little bit better. That'll work, I suppose. That is Soundwave, for the most part. I have to also do his arms, I forgot about that. Now for the arm bits, you're going to want to pull this right here out like that from the little nubbin and transform it. This becomes the shoulder. This little part right in here becomes the upper arm, and this becomes the lower arm. And that's a pretty nice little bit of transformation. Very good posability in that. The fingers are very spindly, and I haven't seen Prime, so don't kill me. I like the figure, but I don't like the spindly hands, because they don't really hold things except for with this little peg, which I'll get to that in a minute. Only thing I've seen with Soundwave from Prime has been when he's fighting that giant arachnid thing that scared the hell out of me. So, moving on, other thing with the same arm, same thing with the other arm. Scratch that, reverse it. And that is Soundwave Prime. Now, the reason I don't like this figure, this is the only reason I don't like the figure. Starscream, what the hell? Only reason I don't like the figure is the head. And I'll form the head for you. Now watch. This is what I actually like better. The head piece sits down in, kind of like the Evangelion robots. I'm not very pleased with that out of this figure. So what I do when I transform into robot mode is I actually pull the head back until it snaps, like that, into place. And that gives him a more upward, taller-ish stance to his body, which is pretty nice if you ask me. I like that. You don't have to. This is just my way of transforming it because I'm a pretty big Soundwave fan. Now, the thing I didn't like about this figure, besides the head, is Laserbeak. And now I'm going to get to that. These parts that became the little leg nubbins in the pterodactyl mode, they pull out to form Laserbeak. And Laserbeak looks like a transformed hunk of steel. That's all it looks like. I'm not even holding it the right way. It looks like it should be that way, because this looks like a better head, but no! It looks like a bat. The head is very derpy looking on this part. Let me see if I can get a better zoom in on that. Ah, yes. This is the head of the figure. Well, sub-figure of Laserbeak. And that was the gimmick that they had in the box. It said Laserbeak included, and I was like, oh, yay! And I thought this was the head. But it's not. So this is Laserbeak. Now, the cool thing about Laserbeak is that this little peg right here is the same size as I said, I have my Starscream figure sitting right here. It's the same size as the peg that they use for the Mech Tech pieces. As you know, Laserbeak can fit into the hand of Soundwave, into that little nubbin I was speaking of earlier, right over here. Zoom in better. There we go. This little nubbin right over here is what he fits into very nicely. Now, the cool thing about this figure is that not only can he hold any Mech Tech weapon on any of his hands, which I'll show you really quick. It sits in there quite nice to allow them to have a little bit more personalization for your characters, whatever. He's also got another little nubbin on his back. Well, kind of. It's right back over here. And it's the same size as the other Mech Tech figure pieces. Laserbeak can also sit down in there if you wanted him to. I don't see why you would. I was going to say, if you're going to have Laserbeak sitting anywhere on Soundwave, put him back in the chest. He looks really naked without Laserbeak. Look at this. He has a little divot where Laserbeak would normally go, and it just looks so naked and empty without him there. So I'm going to put that back so it looks a little bit nicer. Now, overall, this figure is very nice, considering that they didn't make the DOTM, which I'm still pissed off about. Moving on. Very nice overall figure. Very nice display. Very nice posability. Very nice construction. I'm very pleased with this figure. And this is my first figure review, so if I'm missing out on anything, please leave me a comment down below. I'll try to fix it or make a new video sometime soon that'll probably rectify your problems. I have a few other figures I'm going to probably do reviews for when I get a chance to, but this is the first one I happen to have handy. So, if you have any problems with my review, leave me a comment down below in the comments section, and I'll rectify it with an annotation or a new video. Once again, this is about all I can do. So, this is Loose Eddie, aka Insane Ninja Bunny, signing out. Cheers!